She sent me a text right at 5 p.m., saying she couldn't make it that evening. I knew precisely where she was when the message came through, so I replied with a single word. Okay. That night, I ordered her favorite, outrageously priced dinner for two and had it sent straight to her ex's apartment. Paid for under my name. Her name was Lila. We'd been a couple for just over 2 years, sharing my apartment for most of that time. To everyone else, we were the picture-perfect pair. But behind closed doors, I always felt like I was under scrutiny. Lila had this lingering attachment to her ex, Ethan. He wasn't just a former boyfriend. He was a constant presence in her life. The one she claimed was now just her closest friend. I'm not naive. I made it clear from the start that I wasn't comfortable with their dynamic. We had a massive argument about it. She broke down, called me possessive and paranoid, and insisted their bond was entirely platonic. She begged me to trust her. Like an idiot, I relented, but with a condition. I demanded total openness. No hidden calls, no accidental meetups. She agreed. For a while, it seemed fine. Ethan faded into the background. But in recent months, his presence became impossible to ignore. She'd be glued to her phone, grinning at a message, and when I'd ask who it was, she'd say, "Just my sister." A little too fast. She started bailing on our plans with flimsy excuses. An emergency at work, a friend needing help. The stories were just plausible enough to make me feel guilty for questioning them. The final blow to my trust came about a month ago. We had a shared phone plan, set up for convenience. While paying the bill online, I stumbled across a feature to manage device location settings. Out of curiosity, I enabled location tracking for her phone, telling myself it was for safety. Deep down, I knew I was searching for deceit. I didn't have to wait long. The next week, she said she was at a late-night dance class. I checked the app. Her phone was at a cocktail lounge across the city. Another time, she claimed she was at a friend's house for a girls' night. The map showed her in a residential area miles away, at a building I knew Ethan lived in. I didn't confront her. I just kept watching, gathering evidence, feeling a heavy weight settle in my gut. She wasn't just lying. She was doing it with ease. I was merely the guy funding her lifestyle while she toyed with her past. Last night was our anniversary, not of when we met, but when we moved in together. I'd booked a table weeks in advance at an upscale Japanese restaurant, the kind you need to reserve a month out. It was her favorite spot. She'd been raving about it all week. At 5 p.m., as I was wrapping up at work, my phone pinged. It was her. "Hey, I'm so sorry. My manager just dumped a huge project on me. I'm stuck at work all night. Can't make it tonight. Let's celebrate this weekend, I swear." I opened the location app. Her phone wasn't at her workplace. It was at Ethan's apartment, where it had been since she left for work that morning. The lie was so bold, so careless, that I didn't even feel rage. Just a cold, sharp clarity. This was the end. But it wouldn't be a shouting match. It would be subtle, deliberate, and unforgettable. I texted back one word. Fine. I went back to my empty apartment. I sat on the couch for hours, reflecting. I thought about the 2 years I'd poured into this, the faith I'd offered, the life I thought we were creating. And I thought about how to end it. I could have just packed her stuff and left it outside. But that wasn't enough. She needed to be unmasked, caught by her own actions. I opened a food delivery app. I found the Japanese restaurant we were supposed to visit. I ordered their priciest tasting menu for two, complete with top-shelf steak. The cost was absurd, over $350. I entered Ethan's address for delivery, which I'd memorized from my quiet investigation. In the delivery notes, I wrote, "Please ensure the recipient knows this is from Jack. It's for our anniversary." I used my name, Jack, and paid with our shared credit card, knowing she'd get a notification. I leaned back and waited. I pictured the moment. The doorbell rings. She opens it, expecting Ethan's usual takeout. Instead, a delivery person hands her an extravagant package of elite sushi. She's puzzled. Then the driver reads my name off the order. The moment she realizes I know exactly where she is, that I've just funded her and her ex's anniversary dinner, that was my revenge. It wasn't loud. It was a silent, perfectly calculated strike that would unravel her world. About an hour later, my phone lit up. First, a credit card alert confirming the charge. Then the call started. First from her. I ignored it. Then from an unknown number. Ignored that too. Then a text from her. "How dare you?" I didn't respond. Another text. "You're insane. Are you spying on me?" I stayed silent. Then the desperate flood. We have to talk. Please pick up. It's not what you think. I turned my phone to silent. I knew she'd come home eventually. The quiet apartment, once a symbol of our shared life, now felt like my stronghold. And she was about to learn she was no longer welcome. She arrived around 11 p.m. I watched on the doorbell camera as she struggled with her key, visibly shaken. She knew what was coming. The door opened, and she stood there, staring at me on the couch. "We need to talk," she said. "No, we don't," I replied calmly. "I think the sushi said it all." "You had no right," she yelled. "You humiliated me in front of Ethan. He thinks you're a deranged, jealous lunatic." "Does he?" I asked. "Or does he finally see that the woman he's sleeping with has a live-in boyfriend who just paid for their dinner?" I bet that was an awkward chat. Her face fell. The anger was a mask for her panic. "It was a mistake," she sobbed, tears streaming. "I was confused. Ethan and we have a past. I was going to tell you." "No, you weren't," I said, standing. "You were going to keep lying, keep playing both sides, and keep using my home and money as your backup plan. That's done. Your stuff is in the guest room, unpacked. I'm not doing that for you. You have until noon tomorrow to declare all your belongings out of this apartment. Anything left at 12:01 goes in the trash." Her jaw dropped. "You can't kick me out. I live here." "No, you don't," I said. "Your name's not on the lease. You've been a guest for 2 years, and your stay is over." The next morning was a grim, chaotic ordeal. She had nowhere to go, so her parents came. They arrived at 10 a.m., furious. Her father, a tall, stern man who'd always been kind to me, glared with contempt. Her mother tore into me. "I can't believe you treat our daughter like this. After all she's done to make this cold apartment a home." I looked at her. "With respect, your daughter has been deceiving me and cheating with her ex for months. I just sent them a $350 anniversary dinner to his place last night. You should be more worried about her actions than my response." That silenced them briefly. They clearly hadn't heard the full story, only her version where I was the bad guy. They packed her things in tense, bitter silence. As they loaded the final box into their car, her father approached me. "You'll regret this, son," he said. "She was the best thing that ever happened to you." I shook my head. "No, sir. Getting her out of my life is." After they left, I secured everything. I canceled our joint credit card, removed her from my other accounts, and changed every shared password. I emptied our joint savings account, mostly my money, and transferred it to a new, private account. The quiet that followed was a relief, but I knew trouble was coming. It arrived 2 days later, not from Lila, but from Ethan. He showed up at my apartment unannounced on Sunday afternoon. The doorbell camera caught his furious expression. I let him wait before answering. "We need to talk," he demanded, trying to barge in. I blocked the doorway. "We have nothing to discuss," I said. "You ruined my life," he snapped, voice trembling with rage. "That dinner stunt? Do you know what you've done?" "I know what Lila did," I replied. "And it sounds like you were in on it. That's your issue." "My issue?" He laughed bitterly. "I have a girlfriend. A serious, live-in girlfriend of 3 years, Sarah. She was there when your little gift arrived. She saw the note. She saw it all. I hadn't expected that. I assumed Ethan was single, messing around. The fact that he had a long-term girlfriend made Lila's behavior even worse. So you're both cheaters," I said. "Still not my problem." "It's your fault," he shouted, stepping closer. "Lila told me you two were basically done, just roommates, and she was leaving. She said you were a controlling prick. If you hadn't sent that dinner, I could have handled it. But you exposed me. Sarah left me. She took everything. So yeah, this is on you." I laughed at his nerve. "Let me get this straight. You and my ex were cheating on me and your girlfriend, I caught you, and now you want me to lie to your ex to clean up your mess? Get off my property." I started to shut the door, but he grabbed it. "You'll regret this," he warned. I held up my phone, clearly recording. His bravado crumbled. He stood there, defeated, then stormed off. The next wave came from Lila, targeting my finances. A few days later, my bank flagged a fraud attempt. An old store card we'd opened for furniture, me as the primary holder, had been used to attempt a $2,500 gift card purchase online. The bank declined it due to suspicious activity. I spent an hour with their fraud team, closing the account and filing a report. It was another piece of evidence against her. Then came the smear campaign with a twist. It wasn't just me being painted as the obsessive ex. Ethan, trying to salvage his own relationship, teamed up with Lila. Their story was that I was a dangerous stalker who'd been tormenting them for months, with the dinner as my latest unhinged act. It might have worked, but then I got an email from Sarah, Ethan's ex. She'd gotten my contact through a mutual friend who thought I deserved the truth. She wanted to meet. We grabbed coffee the next day. She was sharp, composed, but clearly hurt. She had proof. She showed me months of texts from Ethan calling Lila a clingy nutcase he couldn't shake. She showed me Lila's messages to Ethan, plotting to milk me for a big payout before leaving, just waiting for the perfect moment. It was all there, a cold-blooded scheme to exploit me. He's a spineless liar, Sarah said, her voice firm. But she's a monster. I don't want her to get away with this. I'll sign an affidavit, testify in court, whatever you need. She needs to pay for what she's done to us. With this arsenal, I was ready for Lila's final move. It came as a lawyer's letter, packed with false claims of emotional distress and demands for financial compensation, even a share of my assets. My attorney's response was merciless. It debunked her claims, noting she wasn't on the lease, and included attachments: a transcript of Ethan's recorded threat, the bank's fraud report, and Sarah's notarized affidavit with Lila's incriminating texts. The letter warned that if Lila didn't drop her claims and contact, we'd sue for harassment, defamation, and fraud, seeking full legal costs. Her lawyer never replied. It's been 6 months. Lila and her family have gone silent. Word is her parents are forcing her to repay every penny she took from our accounts. Ethan's life is in shambles. Sarah never returned, and their affair made him a social outcast. Lila's reportedly in a rundown apartment on the rough side of town, working temp jobs and buried in debt. She didn't just lose a partner. She lost the cushy life she exploited and was exposed as the manipulative fraud she is.